Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and I am here with my wonderful wife, Paula. And today, we are reading your comments on RPG a Day. And we're going to find out what her reaction is, and let her respond verbally to you. So let's get started.
You make it sound so interesting.
Do I?
Yeah, like my responses are going to be super fast.
Some I think will be. Alright, so some of the videos do not have comments. It's a shocker to me, but video number 1 doesn't. And I think that's because it was a few days into the process, and so people thought they had seen it.
Oh, yeah, we did put that one up later than all the other ones, so...
Yeah, that's because the first one got corrupted. So if you want to go comment on it now, go for it, but we're not going to get to you. So, sorry.
Wow, that was harsh.
I respond to all the comments.
You can say what you want, but we're not going to say anything.
I respond to all the comments as they come in, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so anyway, so day 2 was the word unique. Let me see what we got here. We had, it says 13 comments, but I'm sure half of them are me. So, all right, because it's responding to the people.
Right, I guess.
So the very first comment is from Fenrir Walker, and we got a few from this person.
Okay.
I, too, like to play and try out different races and sub-races. I've rarely played straight human and like to create new races and half-breeds. So I'm assuming that's in response to you in the video saying you do not want to play a human.
Yeah. Probably. I'd be curious to know, though, especially if you're creating your own half-breeds, like what ones you do and what other people have.
And are they always half human and then that half breed?
Yeah.
Because that's what's insinuated in the player's handbook.
Right. So, but I think it's interesting, to try something different. But I would love to hear more about, like, maybe what kind of half breeds. I think that would be cool.
Cool.
Like anything that's just sort of different. There's a certain point where you just get tired. Like, you've played one half elf, you've played them all. Like, that's my opinion.
So when we were filming these early videos, it was in our living room because we hadn't had this completely finished.
Yep.
So the next, and I'll read this comment, and then you don't need to weigh in on it. But it's, are you filming it in low light? It seems kind of dark. Then, this is also by Fenrir. Who is the one-of-a-kind lady with nice smile there?
Yes. You get
it's my wife.
You get 1 gold star for today.
All right, so this one's from Tanner Shake. Enjoyed the video, though the sound quality could be improved. Yeah, I think we didn't have the Blue Yeti mic set up, and it was using the laptop mic, I think, which is why she cuts out and you can hear me.
And
I project.
In our living room, too, it's like the lights are... There's the wall where the TV is, and that has the 4 recess lights, but the rest of the lights in the room are basically like ambient light from other rooms that come in, because we have this big circle bar area, and so you can turn the lights on there, but those lights are super bright,
and those would be behind
a bunch of them, and they're behind you. So
it would make us look darker.
So then when you're talking too, if you're filming in there, it's very tall ceilings and this big open space, so your voice just kind of goes everywhere. So that probably makes the sound quality really bad on some of them. So hopefully it's better now, though.
Oh, it is. It's been better since 5.
Yeah.
I think day 5. So then Fenrir also said, or a mad alchemist bugbear experiment sub-race.
Mad alchemist bugbear.
Because I said I wanted to play a bugbear, remember?
Sub-race. That would be cool.
Yeah. Could do that.
Alchemist.
So it's not like a full-on bugbear, though?
You should do that. If you want to do a bugbear, you should do that.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would appeal to me.
You can't do that?
No, I don't think that would appeal to me.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be kind of interesting.
Maybe in something more modern.
I'm not huge on, I wouldn't be huge on playing a bugbear, but that does sound kind of cool.
Pathfinder can allow it because they have the alchemist subclass or class.
Yeah.
but 5e doesn't have that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't have it.
No, but it would be a lot of footwork to make it. And then to get it approved by any DM as well. Plus, it just doesn't appeal to me anyway.
You just have to do it in a game where it's one of our games. Then
well, yeah, that would be fine.
DM stamp. Right.
And then Fenrir said, where's day 1? Well, in case you weren't paying attention, day 1 is now up. So you can go watch that.
We had some technical difficulties. It's fine now. But, like, you know, it got corrupted. And
it was a corrupted file. Yeah, it happens.
It didn't go very well, so.
I'm hoping eventually in the next few months, if things go well, to upgrade equipment and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how all that goes. All right, so day 3 was the word engage. And it looks like it says 20 comments, which means about 10. So maybe 19, or maybe 9. All right, so Fenrir. Welcome back, Fenrir. Gotta have finesse in combat and have some unique approaches. I don't remember what that was in regard to, do you? We were talking about engage in combat and things like that.
You were talking about...
We did that like 10 days ago. Maybe even longer at this point.
I don't know.
I think I was talking about running up and hitting it with my axe. And then you said you like to do creative things. So maybe that's why he said finesse in combat and have some unique approaches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think there too we sort of touched on what do you call them? Like Hollywood moments.
Oh yeah, because I like to jump off of things.
We didn't really like refer to it as
Legolas
that, but
effect.
we talk about those like sometimes when we play like where you have this like cool epic moment and you have this really cool idea, and sometimes it's not always like you can't. It's like, you know, 8 acrobatics checks and some sort of other check as well. But as
what
a
if you
DM,
fail one of those?
But as a
Then
DM,
you
you're
fall
kind
flat
of
on your
just
face?
like, oh, just make 1 acrobatics check and that's fine. Like, because you want them to succeed because it was a cool idea and it was a cool thought. So, like, you want people to continue that way. I do that.
Something I saw online today, I think it was today, was when a DM asks the players to roll when there's really no, like, I want to jump off of this barrel and then hit it because I want to add some like flair to it, right? Mm-hmm. And the DM asking for an athletics or an acrobatics roll. What is the purpose? You're kind of discouraging your players from doing something interesting, actually, because there's no positive effect usually, depending on the DM. There's only a negative that, oh, well, you could roll your ankle and fall on your face.
Well, that's...
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's not always true, because, like, if you're jumping off of something and you're coming down on them, like, essentially the point is that, like, you're going to be launching yourself off of something, depending on how tall it is, right?
Sure. Say it's a barrel.
So you have...
Or a table.
You have airtime or something
Sure.
like that, in which you basically can't dodge anything.
So that's already a
coming at
negative
you,
thing.
Right? But, like, as a DM, you could give them, like, some extra damage or something like that because you're coming down on them or you're striking them from above, which is most likely, you know, like, more likely to hit, like, a head or a shoulder or, you know, some sort of vital area versus
but most DMs don't
head-on.
add anything to... I do. You know I do. Like, wait, you just jumped off of that? Yeah, you get rolled twice the damage. Like, I love to reward that. But I know a lot of DMs don't. They just are like, oh, you're trying to do something crazy. Okay, roll acrobatics.
Well, I also think...
you fell and dropped your weapon. You're hurt.
I mean, I also think that was part of the point in, you know, creating things like inspiration. That it's like, oh, now you have inspiration.
Yeah, but inspiration's such a minor thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that was their intent.
Sure.
You know?
So our good friend, my good friend, Tim Harper from Samwise 7 RPG.
Okay.
I like to try to do fun stuff with the environment. That is a bit out of the box. I'm with you, Tim.
So, do you mean like...
We were talking about you forgetting cover and things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I'm really bad at that.
I think that was what we talked about a little bit. But yeah, he likes to use the environment to do fun things and get creative.
That'd be cool. I especially think that could be cool in like a forest environment where it's like, you know, low-hanging tree branch.
Falling over tree.
Grab the branch and, you know, swing and I don't know.
Is there a chandelier? No, but there is a vine that you can swing from.
Something cool happens.
CFTRPG is a guy I've played with before. His name's Alan. And he said, I am all for combat when it in itself is engaging. I agree with Paula that combat for the sake of combat can drag the game.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Combat is no fun when it's just to have combat. It has to have meaning. Samwise7RPG. Leroy Jenkins. I'm assuming he's talking about my hit it with the axe. Fenrir Walker. Paula wins.
Yes.
XD. So smiley face.
That's another gold star for you.
Fenrir.
Just racking them up.
Fenrir. F-bombs are the best bombs.
And another gold star.
Samwise7RPG. Potty mouth grants you a +2 to intelligence. Because remember you said it made you smarter? Yeah. Your seat at the table. Excellent stuff.
Cool.
The way the two of you are enjoying playing off each other, it's an awesome thing when your spouse engages.
Aww.
Tim Samwise7. I try to talk to most things too, Paula. Goblin Whisperer. Hee hee.
What was that in regards to?
Because I said it's no fun if like you just try to talk all the time to like the monsters and then you said that it's fun sometimes.
Yeah.
So he thinks you talk all the time. No, you just fireball the shit out of it too.
I don't. I actually don't. Like I definitely.
We're the murder hobos of our groups.
Yes.
Typically.
Yes. I'm always like, I am notorious for starting things on fire, electrocuting.
Right.
You know, I electrocute a lot of people. Anything.
Oh yeah, they're all in water. Lightning bolt into the water.
Anything that is like an AOE spell.
Oh, by the way, I'm a sorcerer with like the lightning element, so it does extra damage. Don't forget that extra damage, DM.
Yes, as a spellcaster, when I pick spells, they're all like AoE spells. Like it's
or
all,
a way she can manipulate it.
Yes, it's all something that is going to do some sort of mass damage, and the
not
thing,
all, but a lot.
A lot of it is, yeah. The thing that I usually end up in trouble with in that regard is that I'll end up with some sort of battle where everybody is so mixed together in a small area
she can't do
that
anything.
then I can't do anything. So that's my problem.
Oh yeah, your Valkyrie cleric thing was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it happened a lot.
But
it's because our barbarian Matt liked to catch arrows in his chest and then run up right into the middle of it.
Yes, but do not underestimate my ability to power game.
Mm-hmm. So I did respond to the Goblin Whisper comment, and I said, "Yeah, well." She likes to act like she does, but she would fireball them just as fast as I hit them with my axe. And then he said, fireball first, word second. Haha.
That's true. It's a good way to go.
So that's a good one. Thank you for the comments on that video. That was number 3. Let's go to number 4 now. See, I told you to think this was kind of funny. Some people are sucking up, though. Might have to do something about that. Supposedly 10 comments. Okay. CFTRPG. So this was day 4 for share. I like sharing my RPG materials because often I want to try non-mainstream RPG systems that most people don't buy. So in sharing my materials, I am able to play more games and expose more people to these awesome games, which then they go out and buy the books and support the creators. I completely agree with that. However, we are almost always playing 5th edition D&D. Almost everybody at the table does have a book, but for some reason their book isn't in front of them, so somehow my book gets passed around. That's all. Right? I can't get you guys to play other games usually. In our old groups.
I'll play other games.
In our old groups.
No, I mean, I think it depends. Like, everybody's been
like
open to...
Like, the family games we're not gonna get them to play anything else, probably.
No, you could get them to play Pathfinder.
Probably. I only have 1st edition, though. And I don't really want to go back to that one. Maybe if 2nd edition falls in my lap or something.
I don't know. I'm just saying they would play that, and that.
I would play Palladium. I bet you I can get them to play Palladium.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Be like, hey, you want to play a post-apocalyptic game like Rifts or a superhero game? Just tell me what powers you want. I will make your characters. Do not worry about it.
Superhero game, we probably actually could. Eric, it would be tough.
Maybe.
Drew would love it.
Drew and Andrew would play it though. All right, Fenrir Walker. All right, dude, we got a bone to pick. Paula's right, though. Share other people's stuff first. Someone is getting some brown stuff on their nose.
Always right.
That's not true. Samwise7 RPG. I like to have an extra table book, too. I tend to put all my dice on the table for anyone to use, too. See, I'm cool with sharing my dice. I have a lot of dice. It's just the dice I plan on using, I don't like to share. That's all. But I've got enough sets to share.
Apparently, I'm just not good at picking out the ones.
Yeah, you just take the dull ones, but I like the beginner box ones. Like, so the Pathfinder beginner box were red and white. I also use the red and black, and that, that's cool with me.
I assumed you wanted the cool ones, because that's the one that, that's what I like in my
The gold
dice.
flake is coming off of one of them on the D20, so I usually am like, and I like to use the full set.
Oh, we can fix that.
All right, I'll let you look at it.
We can make it a different color, too.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
We could do that.
I'm cool with the gold. So yeah, anyways. So then I did say, I have enough dice to share, but I don't like when she gives someone the dice I was going to use. To me, I have a particular dice I use. I know I'm weird about my dice and books. I can't help it. So then Tim understands. He said, dice superstitions? ? Nah. LOL. Yup, no, that's true. I do have some dice superstitions. Fenrir, no touchies with dice, LOL. And I said, yup. And then Tim again, save versus puns, LOL. Yes. That's been the theme this month. We're going to keep it going because it's fun. So let's go to day 5 for space. Yeah, what did we talk about? I think we were talking about, miniatures and gaming space.
Yes.
That's what we talked about. Mm-hmm. So let's get to the comments. Only 2, so really only 1. CFTRPG said, back when I played 3.5 and 4e, I used to use miniatures, spell range templates, etc. all the time. Combats would take like 3 hours out of a 4-hour game session or not more. It definitely felt more like a tactics game versus role-playing. I could see that. We've had long combats before too.
We've had some. Yeah, I think there's a certain point, especially if you're running a game, where you just kind of gotta like push it along.
Yes.
Well,
and 5e is pretty good. Usually a combat doesn't last more than a couple rounds. Unless it's me running it and I throw in a second wave because it was too easy.
That hasn't happened, but it's happened before, in previous editions. And it's just like, you get to that point and you're like, look, it's just gonna end. Like, you can tell when people are no longer into it and you just gotta, like, move along.
Yeah, I think when we played second edition a few times, it felt...
Yeah.
Definitely.
It takes a little bit longer, but I think second edition's
we also had a big group.
Intuitive.
We also had a big group.
Yeah, and people
there were like
not
6
good
of
at
us.
making decisions very quickly.
Looking things up. Yeah. And then a particular player just kept, even though they had been playing now for a year and they were just a fighter, they still were like, well, what can I do? Like every turn. So that was a little...
Like in second edition, you can attack with your sword. Like that's
about it. Yeah. Or your axe. Or your bow. Or your dagger.
You can talk to them if you want to. Goblin Whisperer.
Yeah. No, she wasn't a talker in that. Especially if your brother controlled her character. Then she was hitting wagons to start fights. She missed a session, and one of the players at our table took over for her and decided to hit a wagon with her mace.
Yeah, it created conflict with other people, and it was just like, I don't know, he was trying to move the game along.
Right.
Whatever, it's not a big deal.
Right.
It's fine.
So let's go to day 6. We talked about ancient lore and ancient places. And we got a few comments on this one. We got 9 on here. So Tim said, I like when a setting comes out through magic items, dialogue with NPCs, inscriptions on caves, etc. It's less heavy-handed that way and more organic. I completely agree. I think that's a really good way to give people lore without just monologuing them to death.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, I think it's a little harder for me.
Maybe. Tim said, random encounter tables are also another sort of shorthand summary to different areas of the world. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Good random tables are fabulous, just in general. Like, it could be random encounters, it could be random name generators, it could be a random, like, personality for something. It's just, like, sometimes it's good because you find that...
I get a lot of inspiration from
especially as you're, like, coming across lots of different NPCs, and you're like, wow, this one was kind of like the last one, and you're like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that, but if you had some sort of random table to be like, oh, what's their personality trait, or oh, what's this fun fact about them, maybe you would, go in a different direction.
Speaking of which, I just reviewed a product on my blog called Ancestral Weapons, and there's some pretty good tables in that add to the history of the weapon. Like you can have it in your family for like up to a D8's worth of generations, and based on how many generations had it, there's like feats of legend associated with it. So I actually made a weapon that's also on my site. You can go download that. It's a great sword, and I think I got 4 feats of legend for Gorlak the Mighty's great sword.
Oh, nice.
So his sword was used to banish a demon at some point. I think it slayed like a dragon, and I rolled that it once was wielded by an angel, and it was once broken and reforged.
Oh,
so those
wow.
are all the different feats of legend. So like can weave that into a story. I don't think I broke it out.
That's kind of cool though. So did you roll for those different feats?
Yeah. So there's a type of feats, and so that's what each of those was a different type.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't tell you
can,
how
like,
or
make
what.
the story.
Yes.
And that's cool. I like that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, you'll like it. So if you guys want to go check that out, I have a blog post about the product, and then I have the sword up for download. So yeah, and it has some other good tables in there too, like what your weapon's made out of, the type of wood, the type of metal, what type of personalities are associated with your weapon.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then there's a bunch of abilities. Those aren't on tables though. The abilities aren't. All right, CFTRPG says, great video. I agree. History and lore associated with magic items, locals, etc. can really give you that immersion into the world. Players get more invested, and it's an easy way for DMs to give tidbits of lore versus just info dumps. I agree. So that was day 6. Let's go to day 7, familiar, where we talked about familiars. Are they too weak? And then we were like, wait, we don't really know because we haven't had familiars in a game.
In 5th edition. Yeah.
So,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So CFTRPG says, I like the dynamic between you two. Makes for some fun videos.
Oh, yay.
Thank you, Alan.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then Chris Drews says, this is a little petty, but Paula has the habit of saying like a lot. It got distracting after a while. You do say it a lot. Ever since I saw that comment, I've looked and I thought about doing a like counter without you knowing, but I didn't do it.
You're so mean.
No, I'm not.
It's more because I am not as used to doing videos, I think.
Maybe.
And we haven't played in a little bit, so I think I sort of second guess some stuff that I say a lot.
You do it all the time.
Because I don't, especially if I'm at work, I just did it. But if I'm at work, I hardly ever do it in presentations. But I think that's because I'm,
more prepared.
More used to it.
But she doesn't want to prepare for these at all.
So these, a lot of times, he's giving me the word 5 seconds before the video starts.
Yep.
That's
why how she wanted to do it.
He gives me such a shit about, like...
going first.
Oh, well, you don't want to go first. Well, I've only thought about it for 10 seconds, so I'm not sure. So there's not a lot of preparation going into these, so I think if
to be fair, before this started, I sent her the image with all the words, and almost every 3 days she asks me for the list again, and I send it.
No, you don't.
I've sent it to you like 3 times.
No, you haven't. It's true, you have not.
I should go look at my phone afterwards and see
I
how many
also
times.
think, was this one of the last ones that we did?
No.
Night? No, that
know.
night, because sometimes when I get tired, it's worse too.
Yeah, that's true.
And
we do them at night after the kids are in bed, before I edit until like midnight, and before she goes to bed at like 11.
Yeah, and we have a baby who still thinks that he doesn't need to sleep through the night, so I get up at least.
Well, he used to think he could, and now he's decided it's more fun to see if people will come in the middle of the night.
He was down to only waking up once.
And he knows once the pacifier hits the floor, it's on. Like that's the cue. Oh, now they're going to come when I do this. Dum dum. And you hear it. Dum dum. And that's his pacifier hitting the floor. So yeah. So anyways, did we talk about the familiars being too weak? Yes, we did. Okay, let's go to day 8, obscure.
Okay.
Obscuring mist and vision and whatever
I'm
else.
still like disappointed
Systems.
in you that you
Dude,
didn't believe me.
I only played Pathfinder as a player for 2 characters ever.
I only played with you.
I know.
Those times
but yours had the spell, so of course you knew it. I never knew. I don't think you even used it.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah. So, anyways.
I don't think I even had that spell. That doesn't sound like a spell I would have picked.
You did. That was the only... I can find it. We got your character sheet somewhere. I'll find it.
Whatever.
We'll find out. So anyway, so for obscuring vision and stuff, CFT RPG said, using Theater of the Mind presents challenges with keeping track of terrain or cover. I found keeping note cards and just bullet pointing key aspects about the environment helps. I agree that definitely can be helpful. So there's obviously positives and negatives to using terrain or using Theater of the Mind. They both have their pros and cons. Theater of the Mind, the battle and combat can be as big as you want it, and you can get as epic as you want, and there's really no limitations. When you use miniatures, there are some limitations.
Yeah, I also think sometimes too in that situation, if you're going for something that is a huge, epic battle, sometimes
you're fighting a red dragon,
you don't have
you might not use miniatures.
The coolest miniatures to go with it, it sort of brings it down, where you have to get into something, this is representative of this thing, and this is representative of this thing, because maybe you didn't bring them that night or something. In that instance, it sort of just took this cool epic moment and made it significantly less cool, because now,
Yeah, but though, remember the
saying?
first time we really started using miniatures with your brother in them? Mm-hmm. And so just to screw with them, I put all the dragons behind the screen.
That's true.
And all it did was make them sweat.
Yeah.
Why do you have Tiamat back there? Why?
we're
I'm like, I don't know. You haven't got there. Don't worry about it. Is what I kept saying. But when you had the combat and then you put the dragon out there, everyone's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm down, half my hit points, and now the big guy's here. What? So, yeah. I think miniatures definitely can add a lot to it.
Can, yeah, but I just think that they can also detract from it.
Oh, for sure.
I agree.
You're limited, but...
There's there's a balance,
And the distance some of those things can travel in a turn, I think it's 100 and some odd feet. Well, that's your full flip mat.
Oh, yeah.
So... using miniatures doesn't work well with that sometimes because of it. Or when people are like, I'm a monk and I can spend key points and I can move an extra 90 feet. Plus I got a bonus action to do a dash and this and that, so I can move another 30 feet.
And it just gets ridiculous. A long jump.
Yeah, and then my Eldritch Blast can fire 300 feet when I do this. Plus I multiclassed into Sorcerer to double the range, and I've got you get the point. It just can get pretty ridiculous. Or if you're doing mass battles, you don't want to use miniatures. So yeah, I agree. Theater of the Mind can be really good and make things easier, but it still has its negatives. So let's move on to day 9. Day 9 was critical, and we talked about critical fails and critical hit charts. And the first comment is from Alan, CFT RPG. Man, I really want to run and play Tomb of Annihilation. I've heard so many good things about that adventure path.
Okay, so I think Tomb of Annihilation is really interesting. I feel like they did a good job of giving you enough information as a DM to make it interesting, but
You have to read the book first, though.
Yeah,
You can't just run it and expect it to be linear.
Correct. There's too many different interacting
You need to
story
understand
arcs, so
what's
you
going
need
on.
to realize what's happening. But I do think that does make it really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so even to run it, though, sometimes it's the worst part is that you get somewhere in your reading, and I've read I've skimmed a lot of it, but I will admit that I haven't read the entire thing.
Sure.
And so you get somewhere and it interacts with some things, then you have to read that section, then you go back and read this one, and then you go over there and read that one, and then you go back to the beginning and like, okay, now I need to reread this because I don't understand why I was reading the other sections. So there is just a lot of interaction, I think, and there's a lot of just interesting things that as you're going along, especially as a player, you feel as though, and this is really weird, and I don't understand why there's...
I never felt that way.
And why there's...
I never felt that way.
You didn't feel that way?
I felt
wondering why there's a, what was it, like some sort of giant
thing.
What were the ice giants?
I never questioned it.
Yeah,
like that one I should have questioned, but I never thought of it.
There's like ice.
I never questioned that, but I should have.
What was it? Were they mountain giants or
no? You had a storm giant.
Storm giant
that you screwed the rules up with.
Yeah, it's fine though. Don't worry about it. Whatever. It made it interesting for the players. We're not gonna talk about it.
We have to.
It's fine. No, we're not.
We're
skipping it.
Why?
We're skipping it. Move on.
I'll do it later.
No.
I'll give you a one-on-one video.
No.
We'll go Facebook Live tomorrow.
Don't worry.
So get over to Facebook and like the Master the Game page. I'll tell you the story if you want to hear about it.
No, it's not gonna.
Or join my Discord and I'll tell you.
You'll lose a gold star.
No, you won't.
You will.
So. So what I was going to say is what it feels like to me with Tomb of Annihilation is that it's like a mega dungeon. Like, because you can't leave. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to go this way and I'm going to be out. Like, even though there's not walls, you don't know which way you're going. So you're going to end up in another room, basically. It's basically like a huge mega dungeon to me, is how it feels.
Yeah, even when you're outside, you can't really go anywhere without some bullshit happening.
Right.
And what is it going to be? Is it going to be, undead? Is it going to be some sort of giant insect?
Excuse me. So let's go to day 10 focus. This will be the last one. We'll do more when we hit video 20.
Oh, I want to be level 20 though.
You could be level 20 when you answer all the questions. You'll be a level 20 question answerer. All right, so
what kind of options do I have for feats?
Not very good. Telling stories about your Tomb of Annihilation that you screwed up the rules. That'll be the feat you get.
Oh,
it's automatic.
It's fine.
All right, so day 10, we talked about arcane focus and concentration checks. Okay. Because the word was focus. Oh, that felt like so long ago, too. All right, so Alan says, as a GM, I often forget when spells have concentration checks associated with them. Things like you can only have one concentration spell up at a time, and that a check is required when you take damage. Now, I try to use a note card when a concentration spell is used to remind me and the group that it is in play during the encounter. Oh, I haven't thought of using like something like that.
Like a note card?
Like, here, hold on to this. That's so you know you're doing a concentration spell.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like something like that. Or just anything. Could even be like a token or... Here's a concentration token.
Yeah, I think we've talked about before, like, putting, like, discs under the miniature, or something like that.
Or milk rings.
Yeah, kind of the equivalent of, like, oh, you're paralyzed, or,
actually, that would probably work well. Because I look at the miniatures when I'm attacking them. I'm like, if I see a milk ring that's, like, blue, I'll be like, oh, that's focus.
Well, we have those poker chips.
Yep, we do. We have a couple of those.
They're, like, red and green and black. And
we didn't have that many colors. I think there's 3.
I only listed 3. Red,
There's
green,
no
and
green.
black. Red, blue, and black.
Nope.
Red, white, and black.
Red, white, and blue, I think. I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
Whatever. It's not like I was that far off. I wasn't like, oh, there's purple, teal, aquamarine.
Our buddy, Gareth, says, what was that about red hair juice? Grr.
What? What'd you
Because I think I said something about being spicy or something. In the comments.
It's okay.
So anyway, then Gareth said, Juice hasn't read Lord of the Rings yet, has he?
Nope.
Because remember how that keeps coming up? Yeah, but the only reason is because she doesn't want me to. It's all her fault. Just kidding. She told me not to.
So all I did was tell him that I'm not sure that he would love Tolkien. That's all I said.
Yep.
He likes things that are more like straight to the point.
No, I don't know. Not with books.
But Tolkien is like 4 pages for a sunrise. You know, that's just how
flowery
he
text.
rolls. So
Sure.
I'm not sure that you would like that as much. We have all the books though. You're more than welcome.
Do we?
Yeah, you would at least like The Hobbit. The Hobbit moves.
Gotcha.
You know?
I'll give it a shot.
I mean, so...
I should read it just for Gareth.
You should.
Just to make him happy.
How long is it going to take you?
I don't know. To read it?
Yeah, get your shit together.
I don't know. I'll start reading it next month. Once I get things in order.
Okay.
Once I'm not doing one of these videos every day.
Fine.
These take a lot of work, surprisingly. I'm surprised. So, like, we film in batches. We try to do, like, 3 or 4 at a time. But then it's like, all right, so then the next night I have to edit it. And then I have to upload it. But uploading it and editing it is, like, 2.5 hours right there. And I'm not even editing that much. All I'm doing is slapping an intro and, like, an outro and a couple graphics on it, for the most part. But then the rendering process is what takes a while. And then I can't use the laptop while it's rendering.
What is rendering? Is that just like putting it all together?
So no, rendering is like when I take the file, it's got all the stuff in it, and I click make movie to make the final thing that I'm going to then put on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It takes a long time because it goes through each, second of it on a slow pace. So you can see the progress, where it's at. And it'll tell you how much time is left, but it usually takes anywhere from like 40 minutes to an hour. So this one's probably, because this is a longer one, this one's probably going to take an hour and a half to do.
You should just start it and then just go do something else.
Well, I have been. So that's when I've been like coming up with, all right, what videos am I going to do next? I've been working on some of the other things.
Okay. Anyway,
move on. So anyways, but next month I should only have to do that twice a week. Sometimes 3 times if I'm trying to get ahead. So I'll have a couple nights here and there where I can do some stuff and do some reading. So actually I started reading my PDF when the videos were rendering the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been reading the Acquisitions Incorporated by 5th edition book when the last few videos have been rendering. Mm-hmm. I went grocery shopping the other night too when it was rendering.
I know.
So I keep myself busy. But that should free up a little bit next month. Omnisci said... Arcane focuses are a great time saver for new players or people who want to embrace the power of a spellcaster without worrying about things other characters don't. Material components do not enhance the game all that much, in my opinion, but they can provide a useful tool if you are denied access to your focus. So in other words, if your GM breaks your focus, or if you're playing with Andre and you roll a crit fail on a spell... Now you just have to use material components.
That's true. I mean...
I agree. It doesn't necessarily add to the game. However, if you have a group that likes to roleplay, again, I said this in the video, I think you can have some really good moments.
I do think...
That make it more entertaining.
That it could be useful if you want to limit your party's ability to cast certain spells as well.
Mm-hmm. So that was days 1 through 10. We will do 11 through 20 probably in a couple weeks. If you want to get your comments in on the older videos, you still can. I will still reply. If it hits my radar, I will try to make a note of it and we can get her reaction. So give us some good stuff to give reactions to. And don't just compliment her the whole time. We don't need her blushing and smiling and giving out gold stars the whole night. Okay? Why don't you talk about how pretty I am? Okay? She clearly married up, right? I'm beautiful. Anyways. So this is Master of the Game. I'm Juice. This is Paula. Do you have anything else you want to say? Are we good?
I think we're good.
All right, we're good. Game on.